Sex and the City does such an amazing job of using style to distinguish its main four characters. Before the characters even open their mouths, we get a good understanding of who they are just by the way they dress. But Carrie stands apart from all of them because of her particular signature style and the fact that she doesn't share traits with the other characters. I'm going to be comparing the four main characters and actresses in Sex and the City, show what's unique about each of them and the way they are dressed on the show. My name is Ellie-Jean, I'm a style consultant, and on this channel, we find our style by finding ourselves. Carrie is played by Sarah Jessica Parker, and her style, I would say, is maybe the most famous of all four of the girls, especially as she is the main character of the show. Although she's not my favorite of the four, my favorite is going to be at the end. Carrie's style is creative, it's experimental, and this reflects her kind of go with the flow attitude on the show. She is a little bit chaotic, a little bit spontaneous. She doesn't have a lot of structure to her life, and that's very much echoed in the way she dresses. She obviously has a crazy number of clothes, and that's reflected through the storylines. She has a problem where she spent $40,000 on shoes, which is an insane number, and she therefore can't afford a house deposit. But I think this speaks to Carrie's Sun style route. So Sun is the fun, playful, creative, experimental style route. And if you don't know about style routes, I definitely think you should watch this video just for a little bit of context of what I'm going to be talking about here. And she shows how sometimes people with Sun can be so experimental and they like the feeling of newness and freshness in their clothing, and they are most likely out of all the style routes to kind of overbuy. So she's a good example of how maybe sometimes you need to pare back, enjoy the fun creative things that you already have and get like more use out of those. Carrie also has a stone style route. So this means she's really casual, relaxed, and I'm talking OG Sex and the City here, not the new revamps, where you see a lot more of Sarah Jessica Parker style kind of creep in. But Carrie Bradshaw is actually a lot more relaxed. She is the girl next door. She likes kind of trendy, slightly sporty pieces. You'll often see her in trainers or cargo pants or a little strapless tube top. Her style is quite effortless, and that's her stone route. Fire is the kind of sensual side to Carrie. She really likes feminine pieces, whether it's a floaty little dress, a mini skirt, showing off her figure, showing off her curves. All of this is quite fire. Her body type has caused contention within the Kibbe sphere. Within the Kibbe communities. In the body matrix, I would place her as wide, medium, and straight, but there's lots of arguments about whether she's a flamboyant natural or a flamboyant gamine. She is actually a verified FN. And we can see how these relaxed looks, slightly more draped fabrics feel really harmonious with her, and it's because of the width in her frame. And for color seasons, she's soft summer, so she actually looks best in quite muted colors. So when she's placed in bright colors, it looks like she's trying a bit hard, and you might see some of these colors come up in those moments where Carrie feels insecure. I've been using the FlexiSpot standing desk for a few months now, and so when they offered to send me another one, I was delighted. So when FlexiSpot first sent me their standing desk, it honestly revolutionized my life because I could set the table exactly to where I needed it for my height. And I find that most chairs, for instance, don't go high enough for a kind of standard desk because they're kind of built for male bodies, I find. And because I'm quite short, I really struggle to get a comfortable setup. So I was so excited with the standing desk. I mostly use it just to set the desk to the proper height, which isn't going to cause me too much pain. But it's also great for in the middle of the day if I want to stand up, because sitting is actually really harmful for most of us health-wise. And if you have a walking pad, it's a really great way to get some extra steps in during your work day if you work from home. I've set up this new desk in my mum's study. My mum works with me. We had the most amazing day organizing her study. We organized the bookcases around, got rid of the old desk, put in the new desk, and honestly had one of the best days of my year. I know that sounds crazy, but I organized all the bookshelves, and the study now feels like a really modern, lovely space to be in, which just has, oh, it's just amazing. Anyway, this desk has honestly made that room so much better. It's the E7 Pro standing desk. It's more stable than previous iterations, and it's also more customizable compared to other standing desks. If you want to check out the new E7 FlexiSpot desk, which is featured in this video, you can check out the link in the description. Thank you so much to FlexiSpot for gifting me this desk. Samantha. I think Samantha might be my favorite character emotionally on the show, so not for her style necessarily, although I do love her style. I think she is the best of the four. I think she's honestly a truly good human. She's just a good person. She's constantly looking out for her friends, and she doesn't judge any of them for any of their mistakes, even though they constantly judge her. I'm not saying she doesn't have her low moments. Of course she does. All of us do. but she's just focused on being successful, finding, relationships on her terms, whatever that means to her, and not fitting into anyone else's rules of what her life should look like. I think she's honestly amazing. So as for her style roots, she absolutely has a mountain style root, and this conveys that she is powerful, professional, competent. She has this strength and power to her, which comes from kind of skirt suits. She often wears padded shoulders, shoulder pads. She often wears suit trousers, pencil skirts, high heels, these really high-powered 80s glam inspired pieces. Like Carrie, she has a sun style root. She has a creative, experimental, shocking side to her, which really comes through in her clothing through pops of color, metallics, again, that kind of glam feel. She uses her outfits to show she doesn't care what anyone thinks. And then she also has the fire style route, again, like Carrie. So you can see the difference between their style here, where Samantha's is more bold and powerful and structured, whereas Carrie's is often more relaxed and easy. I think only a couple of times in the show do we see Samantha in sweatpants, for instance. And she looks very good in them. So she has this fire route as well, which is the sensual, sexy side. And I feel like I don't really need to explain why we see that in Samantha's outfits. It's a huge part of her personality that she is empowered and she's going to express her sexuality however she likes. And so we see that through these really glamorous pieces, fitted waists, curvy silhouettes, lots of reds and other royal tones in her looks as well. You also see fur, silk fabrics, anything a little bit sensual. Samantha has the same Kibbe type as Sarah Jessica Parker. Kim Cattrall is a flamboyant natural, except in the body matrix, she is wide, long, and straight. She looks amazing in the plunging neckline she wears a lot in this show, which echo her long vertical line. Those shoulder pads don't overwhelm her because she has width in her frame, so she can carry that extra bit of volume, whereas I would just look really boxy and strange because I don't have any shoulders. And I would say season-wise, she's a soft autumn, and I'm basing that largely on seeing Mannequin, which is one of my favorite 80s movies. If you love fashion, go and watch Mannequin right now. It's really an ode to fashion and personal style. She has this scene where she tries on all these different clothes because she's the mannequin come to life. This is her quite a lot younger, except I think she's still 30 in that movie. Kim Cattrall has defied aging throughout her life. Miranda, not my favorite style, sometimes my favorite character, sometimes not. I think she can be a bit harsh, but she's definitely the most down-to-earth and grounded of all of the 4 characters. She also has the professional side. She's a lawyer and her career is really important to her. She's really put together. Even though she has her moments of being scattered, that side of herself she's always sure on. So we see that through things like blazers, turtlenecks, smart suit trousers, heels. I also feel that she has a mushroom style route. Her style tends to be quite minimal. She doesn't like bold patterns, crazy colors. She likes to wear neutrals. And she's also quite calm and down to earth as a person as well. And I feel like those with the mushroom style route tend to be the same. And lastly, I thought a lot about her last style route because I kept seeing pictures from the new series of Sex and the City where Miranda's dressed really quite differently. But I think in the original series, her last style route would be Earth. And I feel that this works much better for her character because again, she is so grounded and she is so down to earth that I feel the slightly muddy color palette, occasional bohemian elements, very autumnal feel to her looks really works for her, whereas in the newer series, she's, from what I can see, in a lot more glitz and glamour and like metallics, and she's dressed a lot more like Samantha, essentially. And I feel that this doesn't suit her so much. It doesn't suit her personality. It feels a little forced. I feel like they're projecting their image of what Sex and the City outfits look like and making her wear them. Whereas I felt in the original series, I could actually see Miranda choosing those outfits because she's not a glitz, glamour kind of person. It's not really her thing. Lots of people see Cynthia Nixon as a soft dramatic, and I could see that because a lot of the sharpness in the suits she wears does make her then look maybe a little masculine, where it conflicts with the soft rounded shapes in her frame. Like those pieces look masculine against her, I should say. But I wouldn't say she's overly curvy. I would probably put her in medium. So in the body matrix, I would put her as medium, long, medium. And then for color season, I would say true autumn. She's really got a lot of warmth in her features that is brought out when she's wearing that kind of warm forest floor color palette. And Charlotte, my favorite of the 4. Not necessarily my favorite in terms of personality, although definitely the one I relate to the most. Samantha is my favorite character as a character, but Charlotte, I would say probably second, mainly because I am Charlotte. I just am Charlotte in my world. I relate to her a lot, and I think she's generally kind, but sometimes can be a bit harsh. and sometimes a bit judgmental. Her style roots. She also has the mountain style route, and in fact I feel that she's in some ways the epitome of the mountain style route. She's very old money, she's very formal, and you can see that reflected in her personality. She's constantly trying to be her best, and she wants to be successful, and she is very prim, she's very proper, she's kind of like a princess, and that's very mountain. She also has mushroom. Her style is always muted, it's always simple, it's always toned down, it's very classy, and again it reflects her kind of minimal personality. She likes to keep things quite clean, she's quite organized, she's put together. And lastly, she has the flower style route. She is the innocent one of the group. She's kind of naive, she's very sweet, she's very cute. That's what's special about her, and she brings that innocence to this group, which kind of lacks it, to be honest. They're all very mature women, whereas she looks at the world through rose-tinted glasses, I think you could say. And you see that reflected through the pinks in her outfits, the sweet little skirts, frilly blouses, just generally very delicate pieces. For her body type, there's debate on whether she's a dramatic classic, a soft classic. Within the body matrix, I would place her narrow, medium, straight. And so you can see those kind of sharp, structured pieces feel really at home against her, and they don't feel over the top in any way. And when I say sharp and structured, I mean things like little suit trousers, little blazers, shirts, blouses. The structure of them will often be quite sharp, even though the details are quite soft. And for color season, Charlotte is one of my favorite examples, and by Charlotte I mean Kristen Davis, is one of my favorite examples of a true winter. The colors she looked best in are very frosty, very icy, very, very cool toned, and they very much border that line between summer and winter, but they lean brighter. I think the clothes she wears are a really good example of winter pastels. People think of pastels as summer, but actually pastels are really wintry because they're quite clear in color, and the true summer is the best example of this. So that's what I feel about the style of the 4 SATC girls. Whose style is your favorite? Which character is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, you should absolutely check out my book, How to Dress Your Best. This video, I believe, should be available to order now if you check the link in the description. If not, pre-order, but I'm pretty sure it'll be available by the time you see this. I am so excited about this book. It is everything I've ever learned about style systems, fashion, how to feel your best, and to create an image with your style using your wardrobe. I would absolutely love to see this in a real store one day, and you guys could make that happen for me. So please go ahead and order, as it would honestly mean the world to me. And so if you have, make sure you let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.